In this one, we're discussing why self-improvement is a mental masturbation and what type of different approach I suggest you instead of always self-improving and always becoming better. Quick story, at the age of 17, I think it was when I actually picked up one of those self-improvement books. So I started with the most obvious ones like Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So it was amazing. I just got to know that there is a niche like that because I was 17, 16. I didn't know anything about self-improvement. I didn't really know any knowledge or wisdom when it comes to real life, when it comes to success and money. So when I got these books and when I got to reading them, I was like, I didn't know these things. I can learn from this. So I got into this endless loop of always wanting to read new books over and over again, always searching for something new, like the best self-improvement books, best self-improvement seminars, and the methods and tactics for the future. But it got to a point where I was almost in a way addicted to this feeling of reading new books. I wanted to read new books just to feel better about myself, just to feel that I'm actually on a way to success, that I'm actually on a way to achieving something. And it created a false narrative in my mind, thinking that I could be the best in everything, thinking I could, for example, biohack my way into becoming the best football player in my city. And I could just basically study and self-improve and read and get advice from this type of people. And I was like, okay, if I do those things, I can become the best in everything. Later on, as I matured in my years, I think, I realized that it was mostly a dopamine rush. So you read a book, you feel good about yourself, you feel like you've accomplished something, or you feel like at least you're doing something, right? You feel like you're putting in the work, but you're not actually putting in any work. So the truth is, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't making mistakes and failures. I wasn't learning. I wasn't doing a bunch of stuff that would actually help me self-improve. Fast forward a couple of years is when I actually realized that you don't have to be perfect to start anything. My mindset was, I have to read these things and I have to learn them if I want to start doing something. Because it always helps to have some extra knowledge and wisdom if you want to start something, right? Well, not necessarily. Of course, knowledge and wisdom helps, but experience can be even more valuable. You don't have to be 100% ready to start anything. You have to be open-minded enough to start new challenges, to start something in order to get any type of results and feedback from your work, from your mistakes, from your failures. If I could summarize everything that I've mentioned so far in one quote, it would be, you don't rise to the level of your expectations, but fall to the level of your practice. The problem with modern motivational speakers is that they instill this idea of being invincible into you. They instill this idea of using law of attraction. You know, you just have to want it real bad and then the universe is gonna give it to you. What I have a problem with is when people get this information and don't take any action. So with surplus of many motivational speakers nowadays, it's really easy for you, for us, for me, for everybody to fall into the trap of pretending to be doing something. So I might say, oh, I need to read this book before I start a business. Otherwise, I won't feel I'm ready. I need to read this weight loss diet program, whatever, before I actually start going to the gym. Because what if I go to the gym and I do the complete opposite? What if I'm not doing anything right? But you have to understand that that does not bring results. All you're doing is projecting this false narrative that you are becoming better. Sure, reading books helps, listening to podcasts, attending seminars, all these things are amazing. But you have to ask this question, is it really lack of information that's stopping you from becoming better, that's stopping you from taking action and actually self-improving? Or is it just you procrastinating and being in this endless loop of always wanting to be better, but you're not actually better because you haven't taken any action yet? Here's a weird example to help you understand this. Bear with me. If actually self-improving and getting better is like having an intimate intercourse, then self-improving is like watching adult content because you're not actually engaging with the person. What you're doing is fake, glamorized, and it's not real. Understand that when you're reading books or self-improving, you basically anticipate the moment that you're gonna get better and you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take action in the future. I'm gonna be this and that because, well, I'm doing something that can help in the future. So basically you get this dopamine rush for the things that you haven't done yet. Your brain is already rewarding you with dopamine release, but you haven't actually done anything. Now, okay, we can talk endlessly about the problem, but what's the solution? Well, the alternative self-improvement that I offer you is, it's as obvious and as boring as it sounds, but it is to take action. Only when you take action, you realize how good or how bad you are. I used to think that I was this amazing videographer, getting these perfect shots and exposure, etc., but then I realized without practice, I ain't shit. The reason being is I might know the theory, but I haven't really done things in practice. I haven't put in the work. I haven't gotten enough feedback from my work to sit there be introspective and look at it like, I could have changed that. I could have done this better. You already have some information and some feedback on what you're doing good, what you're excelling at, where you're stepping up a notch, where you're not, where you just simply suck. The truth is, everyone is a tough guy until he gets punched in the face. Everyone is an aspiring, amazing businessman until he gets the first failures and loses all his money. Make no mistake, strategizing and planning and dreaming and aspiring is important. At the end of the day, you haven't moved anywhere. You're still there. Yes, you might have more knowledge, you might have more wisdom. You open a book, you read the book, and when you close the book, you're still in the same position. You haven't done anything. This video is not about me hating on self-improvement niche. It's not about me hating on books, whatever, podcasts and videos. This video is about me saying that, cool, you can do those things. They are important, but do not substitute action with those things. You cannot replace action with just self-improvement. I believe that when those things coexist is when you actually have balance. Yes, of course, it doesn't hurt to just grind it out, just take massive action and then, have this feedback from your work, from your mistakes. But it also doesn't hurt to have knowledge, wisdom, some counseling. Even the biggest companies in the world, even the biggest governments, I know that because I work in this type of industry, even the biggest governments and companies and biggest giants, they use consulting services. They use people who can give them advice, people who can make them better. So of course, it's not only about just working, like purely working and grinding it out. You have to do those things, but you also need self-improvement. You also need to improve your efficiency, effectiveness, creativity, etc., etc. But my problem with the modern self-improvement is that people often get trapped in the self-improvement niche that they don't take action. And lastly, remember, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is just potential power. The real power is you taking action. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.